Hi there, this is Jacob Nash, Algebra Lessons. This is Unit 0, Lesson 6 on combining functions. Okay, so this is maybe the last lesson of this unit. I might do one more, just depends. So, remember you can combine functions like with the f of x, g of x. And remember, those, in the sense if you see x and f of x would be y. But that's not really what we're thinking about right now because we're not graphing. But there are 5 different ways you can combine functions that we're going to do at least. You can add them, you can subtract them, you can multiply them, divide them, and you see that circle thing? Oh yeah, I remember that stupid thing. That's the composite function. So in case you forgot what that means, here's a visual to see what that means. So, this is pictures from a show called MacGyver that you might know, but you also might not know. I don't know. Well, there's a newer version. This is from the older version anyways. So, if MacGyver is f of x and his Jeep is g of x, if you see g of f of x, where you see g circle f of x, or if you see You typically would see it this way. Occasionally you'll see it that way. But if you see that the f of x is in the g of x, then if f of x is MacGyver and g of x is the Jeep, he's in the Jeep. Although he's actually not really in the Jeep. He's falling out of the Jeep because he crashed off of a mountain. But yeah, so maybe that wasn't the best example, but just imagine he's in his Jeep, terrible drawing. There. That's what that is. And then, if it was the other way around, if the Jeep was in him, what would that mean? He ate his Jeep. And, so, that's f of g, or, well, actually, you might see it like this. F of g of x. And then, f of g of x. That's what that would be. So that's what that means. It just means that you put the other function in the x spot for it. So one example would mean if you had f of x equals x plus 1, g of x equals 3. Well, you would probably see something like 3x, I guess. So then if you had this, the g, that means the g is in the f because the g comes last. So put this in the spot on the f. So put this into here for the x spot. So instead of x, we have 3x plus 1. If it was the other way around, put this in here. So then that means 3 times x plus 1. So that's what that means. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so let's look. If f of x equals that and g of x equals that, I'm just saying that because I don't want to do it. Find these things. So, first, g of 3. So that means we'll look at the g of x function, and wherever we see x, we put in 3. That's what that means. So we start out with this. So we put 3 where the x is. And if you do that, 4 minus 3 equals 1. So that means that your official answer would be g of 3 equals 1. And if you remember back from algebra, that would mean that that is a point on your graph. Alright, let's look at the next one, f of 4. So now we take the f of x and we put 4 wherever we see the x on there. So 3x, or sorry, I already messed up. Well, I'll just go ahead and write it out. F of x equals 3x squared plus 4x minus 3. Now, I'll just be able to scroll down because I see it there. Now we can do this. We can put in a 4, put in another 4 for that x, and then now let's solve. We know our rules. We cannot do 3 times 4 and then squared. We need to do 4 squared times 3. So 4 squared is 16. 16 times 3 is 48. 4 times 4 is 16, and then minus 3. So 48 minus 16 minus 3 is 29. So that means f of 4 equals 29. Alright, now we're adding both things together for number 3. So we need to do that was 3x squared. I already forgot what it was. What was it? Plus 4x minus 3. Plus 4x minus 3 plus 4 minus x for the g. Now, luckily for this, it's just simple. All you have to do is combine like terms. I'll highlight the like terms in certain colors just so you can see visually. And like terms are based on what their exponent is. So notice the yellow has an exponent. That's not a good color with the blue font. Just do this. The yellow has an exponent of 2, the purple has exponent of 1, and blue has exponent, it's x to the 0 really, because there's no x there. So that's how, and they're constants, that's also what you call them. So we combine those, yellow is alone, so we just keep that there. And make sure it's in standard form, meaning highest exponent first. Then 4x minus x, 3x. 4 minus 3, 1, or negative 3 plus 4. So that's what the answer is. F of x plus g of x equals that. Now, we're subtracting them, and parentheses weren't really necessary for that one, but they are for this one, and we'll see why. The reason why is because we're distributing this negative. You can't just say only negative 4 minus x. Also plus x, because you distribute that negative. So, once again, we combine like terms. I'll go ahead and just say that we know that this is going to be this. It changes to that when you distribute the negative. So, we still have the 3x squared. We have a plus x now, so that would be 5x. And then minus 3 minus 4, negative 7. That's your answer for that one. Now, this one's a little bit more complicated. We're multiplying in number 5. So we'll do 3x plus 4 x minus 3 times 4 minus x. Now, you can FOIL when there's 2 terms in each part, but there's 3 terms in the first part and 2 terms in the next. So that's not what we can do this time. But since it will be easier to, instead of distribute 3 things into the 2, in my opinion, it will be easier to distribute 2 things into the 3. So, because of our properties that we know, we could just put this on this side instead. And that's what I'm going to do. So let's start out with the 4. Distribute the 4 to all parts. 4 times 3x squared is 12x squared. 4 times 4x is 8x. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Then minus x, I'll erase this now. We are now distributing the negative x. Negative x times 3x squared would give us negative 3x cubed, because you add the exponents, 1 here, 2 here. Oops. Negative x times 4x. That would give you minus 4x squared, once again adding the exponents, 1 plus 1. Negative x minus, I keep messing this up. Negative x times negative 3 would give you positive 3x. So now we need to combine like terms. The highest thing that we have here is, or degree, is a 3, so negative 3x cubed goes first, then we see 2 squares. That would give us positive 8x squared. We see 2 x's. That would give us 11x. And then we see a minus 12. So this answer is a little bit longer because we're multiplying. That sometimes can be hard. Now we need to divide them. Oh, okay. And this time you can't choose the order when you're dividing. You could when you're adding, you could when you're multiplying, can't when you're subtracting or dividing. You get a different answer. So the f of x has to be on the top. And then g of x on the bottom. Now, what we can do is divide like terms. Now, well, technically, well, actually, for this one, you would want to use a certain kind of division, like maybe synthetic division, but that actually, I didn't think about that. I'm not going to actually do this one. Sorry about that. Because that would require its own lesson, because that's pretty complicated. So I'm not going to do that one. Sorry. You don't this is not really even a part of this unit anyways. Really the only thing that they really want you to know is that, which we're about to do. So sorry about that, but we're going to not do number 6. Okay. Now, number 7, we have 7 and 8 to do. 7 is easier than 8. So what we see right here is we have F composite G, which means that you have F with G of X inside of it. So that would have been like how MacGyver was eating the car, or the Jeep. So F of X, let's remember, equals 3x squared plus 4x minus 3. And then our g of x equals 4 minus x. So that means anytime we see a x in the f of x, which happens to be 2 times, we replace it with g of x, which is 4 minus x. Okay, what in the world? Alright, that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and just do 4 times 4 minus x squared plus 4 times 3 minus x, 4 minus x, sorry, minus 3. Don't forget that minus 3. Now we simplify. Like I already said, you have to do that exponent first. And here's something that is a super common mistake. So if you listen to anything in this video, listen to this. You might think at first, when you distribute that squared, that you do 16 minus x squared. Oh, yay. No, that's actually not what you do. Because we need to FOIL that out, because I know this is what I'm going to use for number 8, this space, but I'll just go ahead and do this here. That 4 minus x squared is actually the same as this. So we need to FOIL this out. That would give us 16 minus 4x plus x squared. If you don't understand how I did that, you can look up how to FOIL, and I actually did that in lesson 2, I believe. Well, actually, I'm not sure which one I did it in, but you just use FOIL, so first, outer, inner, last. If you don't understand that, you can look that up, but I don't have time to explain right now. So that was our answer. I just multiplied these, and then those, and then those, and then those. You have to do every combination that there is. So that alone is just what that part is. So we to put this in order, we'll just do x squared, combine those, minus 8x plus 16. And then here we can distribute this 16 minus 4x minus 3. Gosh, that's a lot of work already. So that's why you might not like that composite function. So let's just separate this. Now we're going to just distribute this 3. I'll bring that over here. That would give us 3x squared minus 24x plus 48 plus 16. Gosh. minus 4x minus 3. Combine like terms. 3x squared minus 28x. So that gives us, that's a 48 plus 16 minus 3. Uh-oh. Did the wrong thing. Minus 3. 61. Alright. Usually you need to have this in standard form. But if you see this isn't even factorable, well, I don't think so. 3 times 61. 183. Don't ask me what factors go into that. I don't even know. But usually you just do it in standard form. So that would be your answer. Did we leave off anything? No. Alright, that was that. So that's why it can be annoying. Now this, number 8. Now we see something interesting here. We don't just have G composite F, so the F goes into G. We also have a F of 3. So a F of 3, that means already in the F you put 3's for the X's. And then in the G's you put F with into the X spots of G. So write down that again. 3x squared minus 4x, or plus 4x minus 3. G of x equals 4 minus x. So we already, for the F, we put in 3. So let's see how we're going to do this. Let's start out by putting 4 minus, and then we put F of x in there. Leave this open for now. So just this is the x spot for the g of x function. And then I didn't put x's there for the f of x because it's f of 3, so we need to put 3's in there. So let's first solve out that. 3 squared is 9 times 3 is 27 plus 12 minus 3. So 27 plus 12, that would give you 39 minus 3 is 36. Then 4 minus 36 would give you negative 32. So, in conclusion, G composite, great. G composite, did I seriously just do that again? This thing is sensitive sometimes. Okay. That equals negative 32. And there you go. That is your answer. And that is a review on solving or combining functions. So that would be it for this lesson. Hopefully it made sense. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.